Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Button Smash.
We are coming in hot and crispy tonight.
Tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a number of different subjects within the video game industry and around the world. There's a bomb that dropped in Verdansk. Wait, what? Apex Legends Mobile Overwatch director. What? There's so many things happening. But before we get into any of those good things, good stuff, it's like a nice chicken pot pie. What we have for you, it's like nice and crusty. It's savory on the inside. It's hot
little
and
Marie
warm.
calendars for you. Pop it in the oven for 15 minutes. Forget about it. Your house is on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of popping fresh, we got TV's Casey.
That's me.
Got Doc Chris.
Listen, I am like a wonderful crispy biscuit.
Speaking of crispy, we got Jay's Mac.
I'm like a hot pocket. I'm going to give you diarrhea later. So,
And I'm your host, Bad Cody Sergio. What's going on, everybody out there? What up? Tonight, we're going to be talking about a number of different subjects within the Button Smash show. First up, man, there was a bomb that dropped in Eastern Europe. Did you guys hear about this? It's a place called Verdansk. Call of Duty has its new season that's out, and damn, all the views, all the listens, all the clicks, all the likes. Oh my God. We have Twitch streamers who mainly play this game getting over 300,000 people watching live.
Oh
my
God.
Boy, Nick Merckx for the new season. Everyone wants to see what the new weapons are, what the new map looks like, the new meta. For those who don't know, Call of Duty Warzone is a battle royale game where teams of people drop into a map and fight it out for who's going to be on top. And what makes this season different is that they're blowing up the entire map for a new one. New weapon balances, new characters, new everything.
Say goodbye to Tomato Town, kids.
that's exactly what I thought when this came up. I was like, oh, dude, this is just the black hole thing that happened from Fortnite. I was like, all right, like I guess this is a good way to introduce a new map. I had Sergio, I sent that out to everybody. I was like, yo, did you guys hear a bomb dropped in Eastern Europe? Yeah. And I just let it linger there for a second. I'm like, nah, it's just Call of Duty. Never mind. I don't want to worry anybody. Dude, everybody's afraid all the time.
It's so funny too, because there's a lot of people who were kind of like saying that. Well, not a lot, but like there were people who were saying that joke over on Twitter, and people were like, "Wait, what happened? What's going on?" I mean, we had some actual tragedies that happened, and they're like, "Wait a minute, what? Is there something else happening?" Because we got a huge like world event going on right now, and there's something going on here, and because COD is so big, a lot of people have been responding to some of those tweets. It was really funny, but one of the main things that's going on is that there's a new company, not really a new company, Raven Software. It's usually Infinity Ward and Treyarch that take care of this game, but Raven Software is coming in to give us a nice look and feel to the game. So players are already reporting that the map looks better. It's a bit brighter. There were certain characters, like one named Rose, who's an all-black armored character. So if you were that character in a shadow, other players can't really see you. And it was kind of like
oh yeah, I heard that.
So they made the map a little bit brighter. They tuned the shadows to more of blue, and they made her a bit more purple. A lot of the weapon changes. So what makes Call of Duty Warzone unique is that each season, each update, they balance the weapons, right? So there's a weapon that is usually on top that'll help you get to the number one spot. Boom! Next update, guess what? That's not the number one anymore. You got to figure out a new meta, homeboy. And that's where a lot of the views come in from all these different YouTube content creators and Twitch streamers. So we got people who today, like Nick Merckx, getting 300,000 people watching his channel. You got other people, some of the Hispanic streamers who are getting 200,000. You're getting
nice.
Guys getting all these different views. People are like, all right, what's a new map look like?
What about our record-setting boy Graf?
He plays Fortnite.
Oh.
Yeah, Casey's tuned in.
He's only on the phones. These battle royale guys are only committed to one battle royale at a time.
Some of them, yeah. There are guys like Nick Merckx who do play Fortnite, and he plays Call of Duty as well. And another huge change was the way the event was carried on. Just wrap this topic up real quick. So usually when games like this and updates like this drop, they usually do them in one go. It's like, okay, everybody update, and then here's a drop at a certain time. But they did it over 2 days. So the first day you were able to get the upload I mean, get the download on your computer, on your Xbox, on your PlayStation, or whatever, and then you played on the current map that's been going on for all this time, right? And then you got to earn some rewards and do certain objectives to get a certain part of a skin. And then what they did was the next day, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, on the first day, like the nuke went off, right? They showed a cinematic of the nuke going off. They showed the map like kind of getting destroyed, and then it kind of panned out. The next day, you're playing on a smaller island that's off the coast of Verdansk, which is the name of the Call of Duty map. And they had you play through, and then at a certain time of the day, they unlocked what happened. So on this island, there were some bad guys who were cooking up the gas, which is what the circle is. So in Battle Royales, you have a circle that closes you in so that teams are funneled to the center or a certain point of the map so that you have to keep killing or else this circle is going to kill you. So on this island, they were making the gas. There's some new villains who were introduced via cinematics, and it was actually your team that set off the nuke, which is really interesting.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the nuke sets off from the island. It goes into Verdansk, destroys it, and then we pop up to this quote-unquote new map. And here's the kicker here why some people are underwhelmed and some people are kind of cheesed off, right? The new map is just a part of it's just the old map. It's the same.
Oh.
It's the same morning. It's the same.
Hey,
it's the same
this map, though.
Same map. We did it.
But
Same map. Big reveal. But so what's happening is so the nuke destroyed a certain part of the map, right? Here's the rumor. Raven Software was working on a whole brand new map, and it was going to be, and this gets so complicated and so stupid. All right, follow me along this rabbit hole here. You have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. That's the current Call of Duty game. Call of Duty Warzone came from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was a remake of the OG Modern Warfare, right? So in order to play Warzone, you need to download basically an iteration of Modern Warfare, but the game is Call of Duty Cold War. So Raven Software, the guys who are in charge now, were going to make, and here's a rumor, they were going to make a brand new map, but they had some problems because it was a Black Ops map. Like there was some like water mechanics, certain things that just weren't flying, and they're trying to figure it out. So the rumor is, for the time being, here is a part of what's the old map, but Call of Duty Black Ops takes place in the 80s, in 1984. So it's
because
not modern
Ronnie
day.
Reagan is in this game.
Exactly. So the nuke goes off, the banana goes off, and then we rewind to the 80s. So it's still the same map, but different looking. All right, it's a bit more colorful. Like certain things, like the big gigantic stadium that was there, is now dialed back to what a stadium was of the 80s. It's smaller, it's more compact. Certain parts of the map have certain structures that
Chris Pine has a fanny pack.
Exactly. Yeah. like the airport was kind of blown open and planes were crashed. Now it's pristine. There are planes.
What about
on
the
runway.
weapons?
You know, the weapons now are only Call of Duty Black Ops weapons, so no more Modern Warfare weapons. Some of those weapons, which are called Legacy, still pop up in the map, but the weapons you're playing with are Black Ops. So,
wait, heartbeat scanner?
Heartbeat scanner. I haven't seen the heartbeat scanner because that was in the 80s. So I haven't seen any of that stuff.
What about an iPhone?
Yes, because that was back.
We're gonna go through everything that's been invented all the way up to the.
Come from the 30s. If you believe that conspiracy theory of that lady putting that phone up to her head.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's crazy. So right now the meta looks like the AK-47 is returning. The FFAR has been nerfed. A lot of the weapons that were banging and giving people wins were nerfed to hell because you know what? That's how you keep a game spicy, fresh, and new. You have everything that was the meta not be the meta anymore. Much to the chagrin of like some 15-year-old kids who are just like, oh damn it, I'm sorry, I used to use my
I just learned this.
Just screaming over TikTok.
The new version of this map, though, I have to ask: is there a place for Symphony to go hiking? Just need to know.
Oh, that's so good. That's actually really good. That's a good callback to our episode we talked about where he stuttered and supposedly said the N-word, which he still denies to this day. But he told me so.
That's weird. You're still weird, Symphony, for saying. Just say that you said it. That's it.
Like it's like a 1 in a million thing, but so Call of Duty dropped in the Warzone. So many people are playing. I would like to play it, but the new update screwed over a lot of people, including myself, which I have this like weird freak thing where the game just won't launch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been driving me up a wall. So I uninstalled everything. I even did a clean install of my NVIDIA graphics and everything. I freshly installed everything, and I hit launch and it doesn't work. It's weird. It's really weird. So thank you, Raven. The game's playing really great. It's really great right now. It's a good job. Really, really good job. Speaking of good jobs, a game that did a very good job, Hades wins DICE Awards Game of the Year, everyone. And good for them. They deserve it.
Yeah. This game was awesome. I loved playing this game. I got to fight Hades, and then because it's really hard on PC, and I guess it's a lot easier on Switch and stuff like that. But I had a tough effing time with it, and I still haven't finished it, just like every other game that I've ever started. But one day I will beat Hades, and I will leave Tartarus or whatever it's called, or Hades. I think it's called Hades as well, right?
Yes, Tartarus is one of the levels of Hades.
Tartarus is one of the levels. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
But so this is the second major award they've won. They also won Game of the Year at the BAFTA Awards as well. So that's kind of cool. That especially since it's an indie game, because it didn't just win Game of the Year, it also won a whole bunch of stuff, including Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game, beating out things like Last of Us Part 2. Like everyone thought that was going to sweep up. Crazy. A couple other good notes here. Ghost of Tsushima won a bunch of stuff, including Adventure Game of the Year,
Nice.
Animal Crossing New Horizons, Family Game of the Year. It should be just like Medic, like literally saved lives.
Yeah.
But what have you. Racing Game of the Year, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Role-playing Game of the Year, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Sports Game of the Year, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. I'm very pumped about
awesome.
that. Yep. Online Game of the Year, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. That's interesting.
Wow.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Guess the fad's not over.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, awesome.
It's really good seeing, and this is why I like the DICE games. They seem less BS than like the video game awards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like the video game awards, I like Jeff. You know, I like Jeff and everything, but it seems like his buddies are just winning, right? Like, how do you have Ghost of Tsushima not really win anything? Animal Crossing or anything, but like Last of Us just sweeps all the awards. Come on, man!
Yeah.
Like this seems more legitimate. This is the real award show.
It's the Golden Globes of video gaming.
Yes,
it is. Yeah, pretty
There's
much,
no pretentiousness to it, right? Like it's just like this game made everybody happy. This game was really good. It's gonna win. Like, yeah, Last of Us was a masterpiece or whatever you want to call it. Like it was a really well textured game, like really good storyline and everything like that.
But Hades was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucked away from like the actual video game experience, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
And this was just an old school video game. You know what I mean? That isometric style where you're just smashing into mobs. Loved it. So good.
Good on you, Hades. Good
Well
on
deserved.
Casey, do you play it? You play Hades?
I've still yet to play it. It's driving me nuts. I've watched playthroughs. I've watched people do it end to end, because it's procedurally generated and roguelike and what have you. But it looks like a blast. I'm fully wrapped into all the PlayStation classics I can get my hands on, though, and I will be for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I got like peer pressured into playing Hades. I was like, everyone's playing Hades. What is this game?
I should get
Why
it
does
for
everyone love
Switch
it?
just so I could play it on the go, because it's not like I could carry my PS5 anywhere. I'm not strong enough.
Not yet.
That's strong
Not
enough.
yet. Yeah, and Crystal Twitch and Chat says Hades is such a fun game to watch too. Lots of dialogue. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people Crystal Twitch like say the exact same thing. I mean, so many people have only said really good things about Hades. I haven't played it but myself, but it's got so many rave reviews. I've only seen smiles of people like playing it. Even when it gets really hectic, people are like, "All right, let's go again."
I played the hell out of Bastion. I got all the achievements. I mean,
Bastion was good.
It's right up my alley.
I played a fair amount of Bastion when I found out that it was like, I was like, everyone's loving Hades. What's the developer? Oh yeah, they did Bastion. And so I played a little bit of that before I got Hades, and then I finally got Hades. And let me tell you, Hades is way more fun than Bastion. Like,
wow.
Bastion's pretty good, but like Bastion, I'm kind of like, don't know if I'll go back to it. But Hades is, I've put oodles more hours into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bastion.
Hey.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Speaking of hours of things here, it looks like the PS3 Says Vita store is kind of
Yeah.
Did Sony backpedal on what they?
Oh, you bet your sweet
The CEOs of
did.
Who Asked came back.
I mean, well, here's the thing. So after we kind of there was announced that the PS3, PSP, and PlayStation Vita store were going to be shut down this summer, with PS3 and PSP being shut down in July and the Vita coming later in August. And the internet went ballistic, as they usually do. And they complained enough that Sony went, you know what, we're going to keep the PS3 and the PS Vita stores up indefinitely. So I think this is interesting because of where we are with video games. So like now it's like obviously with PC gaming, like just downloading a game has been a thing for like quite some time, basically almost like since a little bit like after the internet became in like everyone's house.
Yeah.
Consoles was not the same thing. PlayStation 3 was the first PlayStation console that you could download a digital version of the game. And there were indie titles that there weren't physical copies of. The only way you could get them is if you had hooked it up to the internet and you downloaded it and you put it on the PS3. So this is the first time we're seeing content that you could potentially be locked out of completely
Forever.
because there's not a physical version of it. You can't just go down to GameStop and like grab a copy of some of these games. So I think this is going to be a very interesting like topic coming up, especially since a lot of people are talking about gaming preservation and access to these things. And by turning off the store altogether, there's no other way to get these games.
So wait, if they turn off the store, do they no longer have access to the game if it's already there, or if you have it?
If you have it, you have it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I find it odd too. People like care about like PS3 stuff still. I mean,
well, yeah, that's what I'm like.
I mean,
confused about.
I wonder if it's because there's like still a part of the world where like that's still popping, and that's what's going on.
Isn't the Sega Genesis still big in Brazil? Like it still sells.
Probably.
Is it?
I think so. I remember reading that somewhere. That maybe not Brazil, but there's some country in South America where the Genesis is like it's never gone out of style. Like you know how the PS2 was a thing for like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Even though it had really no reason to be.
More than
for
that.
some reason,
It was like they discontinued, like the last game was released like well into the PS3 life cycle.
Yeah.
And it still, I believe, has the like largest catalog of games that you could, like physical games you can buy. And obviously that kind of thing is changing now because of things like the digital store. But the fact that this is the first console that actually had a good amount of games, the majority of games you get physically, you get digitally as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to really bring up the question of like when PS4 hits the end of its life cycle, it's going to be less of an issue because PS5 can play 99.9% of the PS4 games as well. So it's very interesting to see where we'll get with that. So I'm glad they put it back up. I still have a Vita. I still have a PS3. Actually, even like in the last 2 years, I've actually downloaded a lot of PS3 games because they've added a lot of stuff digitally to the store. Like I felt like I wanted to play what's that, Fatal Frame? I was like, Fatal Frame I want to check out.
I'll play this.
Yeah, and I was able to download a digital copy to the PS3, and I was able to play it. And actually, I played I remember leading up to my playthrough of God of War, in like 2019. I played through all the God of Wars, and I had to download those digitally as well. Okay. So I played a lot of PS3 in 2019, which is weird to say.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Moving right along here on the Bun Smash Show, it looks like, and this is interesting, this comes out of nowhere, Sony is testing a PlayStation video streaming service in Poland. Could this be their Disney Plus, their Apple Plus, which who asked for and who's watching? Also, AMC Plus, like CEO of Who Asked. AMC Plus. Paramount Plus. CEOs of Who Asked all came together and made all those things.
You know what would be better? Is if like the cable provider like gave us a package where we could watch all this content for like a bundled price, you know what I mean? And like you just needed like a piece of hardware to connect to your television to like get all this content.
Like some kind of
You're
box?
crazy.
It's a kind of
yeah.
That would never happen. Ever.
like some
Okay.
kind of hot tub time machine. So speaking to a Polish website yesterday, Sony Interactive confirmed that they're testing out a PlayStation Plus video pass with a 1-year trial in Poland that will allow subscribers to stream movies and TV shows as the company looks for ways to expand its online subscription. So they're just like, hey, look, I know you guys like Netflix and the Disney Plus, all that stuff. Guess what? We're going to have something similar as well. And we're testing it out randomly in Poland. Like, what? And so, I mean, hey, no smoke to the Polish people, but that's just so random. You know what I mean? So the service will be streaming app available on PS4 and PlayStation 5 with to owners who only have a PlayStation Plus subscription, which is usually everybody who has a PlayStation, at no additional cost. So if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, this will not cost you extra. The service will include 15 movies and 6 TV shows owned by Sony Pictures, with more on the way every 3 months until the trial concludes.
No
Did you see that?
Spider-Man, no buy.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
There's a couple things that's interesting about this. One of which is the fact that Sony has also recently announced that they were going to be discontinuing selling movies and TV shows through the PlayStation store.
I wonder if this is the move. Like, that's why.
So this is the
That's it.
move, is
There's always a move.
because they talked about that, like, so much more of the media model is switching to streaming, and so they decided, I guess, to go that way. It's also interesting because they also signed that deal with Netflix, or Sony signed a deal with Netflix about exclusively having their content, new movies in the next few years, be exclusive to Netflix for 18 weeks before any other platforms get it. And also, I'm wondering if they're just going to, like, incorporate their Crackle service into this, like, just to pump that.
I keep
Crackle,
forgetting
the
about
forgotten
Crackle.
service.
Yeah,
Everyone forgets.
I think that's what everybody's collective thought
Sony's
was
also
just now.
got wrapped
Oh
up-
yeah, Crackle's a thing.
They've also got wrapped up in deals with Disney. Like,
What is Sony thinking? What is Sony?
They're selling out
Sony's
all over the
smoking
place.
Crackle, man. Like,
stop it.
It's so insane, like, because people were just like, wait a minute, you're going to stop, selling TV shows and movies on your platform, which I don't know a single person who, like, got a movie or a TV show off their PlayStation.
listen,
One.
I own
About
Mission
one.
Impossible:
Really?
Ghost Protocol on Xbox 360.
Awesome.
Because it seems like a lose-lose because it only lives on your PlayStation network. So it's just like,
Yeah.
you
Right.
can't really access it anywhere. But I mean, this is interesting. I mean, they're apparently they're trying to figure out ways to make your PlayStation subscription worth it, right? Because they still see people like not subscribing, not getting on the service. I mean, people who play multiplayer games, yes, will. But think about it. You can play Spider-Man Miles Morales without a subscription. You don't need PlayStation Plus, but you can still play that fantastic game. I mean,
But they give you free games every month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it, and I've already got like 4 AAA titles lined up.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? You add it onto your thing, but I knew there are people who are just like, hey, I can't spare it or
Yeah, I
whatever,
guess.
because like there are people, like this PlayStation was a gift, and I'm not shelling out for like another thing, so here we are, and who's to say? But
I think they should bundle it, like maybe for like $5 extra you get access to PlayStation Now, because the whole idea behind this is they're trying to give incentives to draw people from to compete with Game Pass, really.
Yeah.
Is what this is all about, is bring people over to their platform and paying for that service. 'cause
And they're
Game
already
Pass is killing it.
They're already technically beating it because just price wise, Game Pass is $10 a month. PlayStation Plus, you're looking at $5. So
And I didn't know this until I saw this here from The Verge. Sony does have access to a large library of TV and movies, including anime by Funimation and Crunchyroll. I didn't know that was Sony. That's crazy.
okay,
Y-
yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
So-
there's this weird thing happening with Crunchyroll and all the other streaming platforms, by the way. There's like this, like, they're afraid a monopoly is going to occur, and really it's just Netflix and Hulu being like, no, we want anime too, which granted, like, that's what I subscribe to, and
That'll be on your headstone.
oh yeah, for sure.
So what's happening with them?
So they're afraid that Crunchyroll is gonna like gain too much momentum and become a monopoly for anime specifically, and Netflix, Hulu, HBO. You know how HBO has like all the Studio Ghibli movies. Like HBO has, I'm sorry, Hulu has some anime in there. Netflix has a bunch of anime. One is called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
You may have
It's
heard
an
of it.
anime. Never heard of it. But yeah, like they all have those different, animes in there, and they're starting to lose the licenses to those, and they're worried that Crunchyroll is going to buy it all up and just create a monopoly. But I'm like, you guys have enough money anyway, and you keep jacking the price up literally every year and a half, so deal with it.
I feel like they single-handedly make their money back just because they have it on there for you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say let Crunchyroll do their thing, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Cool. We also have the Days Gone director is kind of complained about people buying Days Gone not at full price. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
What we got there?
Steam has completely revolutionized the model for buying games. And Gabe Newell's whole philosophy was if you make a game easily available, easily affordable, people will buy it. And they do sales all the time. So, I don't even understand the logic of it. You should just be happy that people are playing your game at all. Especially if it's kind of
damn, he was just like, why don't you just shut up, nerd, and be glad people are playing your dumb game.
Like, look, we live in a world where piracy.
Would you say we live in a society?
We live in a society, Batman. Let me give you the old reach around.
That was so odd.
It's so bad.
Zack Snyder's such a weirdo.
I didn't make that up. No, we do live in a society where piracy and getting things at a deal is pretty much rampant. But I think it's a bit much when to talk a big game. Like, it's not like this game has come out to some like astonishing acclaim, or that
I've never even heard of it. I don't think.
I only heard
Bro,
about
it was at PAX East, and like they
was
wouldn't
all over it.
Yeah, and like they wouldn't let us like first like do an actual interview like with the devs, and they wouldn't like let us like capture any video or something. They would just let us play it, and I had like a few problems like with like the janky controls. Like there was a part where you're on a motorcycle and there's like a horde of zombies like coming at you, and the zombie engine is beautiful. It's actually really really nice. But while you're on this motorcycle and you have this whole horde of zombies like coming after you, when you're aiming and you're trying to shoot, there's just like this massive reticle that's like taking up the entire screen, and you're not really shooting at the zombies. It was really odd. So I was asking him like what was the design choice about that? Because I'm trying to like shoot these zombies that are behind me, and I see these red barrels. Red barrels means explosives. Let me shoot the explosive barrels while I'm on this motorcycle. And I was telling the guy, I was telling the dev who worked on the game. I think he was the head dev. I forget his name. So like no smoke on you. I just forget your name, dude. Anyway, so I'm trying to shoot this red barrel and specifically target it, but this massive reticle is taking up this huge portion of the screen. So I was just like, so what's the thing behind that? And he was just basically gave me this whole thing about how, well, we're doing things differently, and it's just like a certain thing, like and that
doing things differently,
and that it's a certain way because there's a certain part of the game where that makes sense. So that's why that's like that. Okay. And I looked at him like he just talked to me without a head. Like this guy had no freaking head, and he was talking about out of his like neck giblets. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and I was just like, "What?
You're gonna sit there with a
Mortal Kombat neck giblets
with a straight
it was so
face.
weird. He was just like,
listen, you're gonna tell me that with a straight face that you're trying to do something different when you're making a fucking zombie game. I confuse. I don't know how many zombie games there are anymore, dude. DayZ, Days Gone, Left 4 Dead, Dead Island, Resident Evil, Other Evil, Prime
Dead
Evil.
No, Prime Evil was a television show about dinosaurs.
Okay, whatever. All these friggin' all these games, man, about zombies. The only reason why I know DayZ is a game, by the way, is because they just did a Rust skin update. Like they did a little crossover where they added Rust, and it's just plastered all over the Rust page in Steam. So it's like, oh, DayZ, crosses up with Rust, and I'm like, huh? Mm-hmm. I'm like, what is this? And then it was just like, oh, they just took some skins and some guns from Rust, and they put it in DayZ. Still not gonna play it. Thanks.
Sorry.
But yeah, I thought it was such an odd design, and like there were certain things that when I played in that demo, which we played for a pretty good time. I was talking to him about it, and he just had like the weirdest explanations for things. And I was just like, all right, man, I hope your game does well.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great if we could have done an actual interview with you on camera. Also, also smoke for that. It's just like, bro, I know that you're with PlayStation and this is like a big title, but it's just like, listen, we're little guys, you know, we got our setup and everything like that, and you telling us like, well, you know, we've done interviews with some of the other press outlets and stuff like that. It's like, listen, when you tell me that, where you already had interviews lined up and you did stuff with the press outlets, that's you telling me that you're curating your content. You don't want certain things out there. You don't want actual questions. You're putting out your PR BS, and I mean, come on, like you're afraid of a little podcast asking you questions about your goddamn game, and you're like, no, we've already done. We already got interviews with some of the other boys. You know, we put stuff out there. We're not doing any on-camera interviews.
We got interviews with other people, and we're afraid that our sequel's gonna get canceled in 2021. So you know, we don't want to talk to you, dude.
It didn't surprise me the complaints of, oh, you're not burning a game at full price from the guys who were like, well, you know, we don't want to do actual interviews with a small podcast. You know, like we've already got our stuff down. You know, we put out our little press briefings with our BS. It's like, bro, like we're not gonna like flame your stupid little zombie game where your controls don't make any goddamn sense. Okay. Like, listen, like, oh, man, it was just so freaking odd. But, hey, they were nice people when they were there. The game itself was just okay. I'm like, dude, nice little zombie game you got there. The guy's the motorcycle rider. I get what you're doing, you know, like, in The Walking Dead, one of the biggest, like, most watched, like, zombie TV shows, one of the best, like, characters is, you know, motorcycle guy. So, original idea. Good job.
Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just weird. Just be nicer, you know what I mean? And your game's worth $14. The end.
Yeah. Your game's worth $14. So you know, when I look back at that, I'm just like, well, it's a good thing we didn't get, you know, your on-camera interview that you were so scared.
It's also weird that Sony like marketed this game pretty heavy at around the time it came out, but like then it just like fizzled. Like no one said it was a straight bad game, but it just did not like turn any heads. Is really what happened.
I think
it got no traction. It got no traction. Like nobody was talking about this. This was not on anyone's list for best upcoming game. I mean, YouTubers who make top 10 lists of the most anticipated games. This was not on any one of those weird jerk offs. Like
this wasn't even on a Christmas list.
And there's some YouTube content creators who only play like survival games and zombie games, and this was not on their list. Yeah. So my guy, your game not being worth full price, it's not on us. It's on you. You know what I mean? Like you're mad because you didn't do a good job with your game, bro? I mean,
you know, I'll give them $14 for the whole IP. Actually, now that I'm looking at
I'll buy you out.
I'll buy you out.
Casey, you're gonna say?
You know what? I was gonna say what it reminds me of. On Saturday Night Live, when Chevy Chase thought he was hot shit, and a young upstart Bill Murray entered the scene, he called him a middle talent, which might be one of the best things you could ever like insult somebody with, because you call somebody a bad actor or whatever, or you're not funny, like they'll just dismiss it like offhand, but middle talent, like, wait a second.
True, how do you,
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man,
that's what Days Gone comes at me with.
Yeah, so speaking of disappointments, it's a weird time in the video game industry where you know it's not unheard of that certain people, be it producers or directors, leave companies or projects. But it came to a surprise to a lot of people when Jeff Kaplan, who is the overseer, the overlord of Overwatch, announced that he was leaving the team. Aren't we in development of Overwatch 2, my man? What's
not time to walk away?
This is extra weird, man. And I had to check on some of my friends. Ice Wizard, if you're listening, man, I hope you're okay. Overwatch is the first real PC game that I played ever, right? That was like how I got broken into, you know, figuring out how to use a keyboard and mouse for a first-person shooter. This game holds a special place in my heart. And I just want to say, you know, we spell Jeff Kaplan's name Jephphh. That's how you spell Jeff, by the way.
His name Jeff.
My name Jeff. You know, he's the staple to this game, and I feel like obviously it's not going to just like, you know, just vanish because he's leaving. Like Overwatch is in a good spot. Overwatch 2 is basically done. I'm sure it's going to be in a good spot when it gets released. But not seeing his weird updates and his weird jokes that he gives you, you know, like every month, that's going to be so weird. Like, we're going to have to, like, try to really call him now and just be like, yo, we need to talk to you. Just tell us a story, Jeff. You know, just help us out. But it's weird, and I feel like there's some strangeness going on over at Blizzard because I think the guy directing Hearthstone also left. If that's not the same person,
Whoa,
I don't think
really?
it's. Yeah. There's some strange stuff happening
some
over
exodus, and it seems to be
that is very strange.
It also may be related to some of the Activision like moving things around.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's been some weird stuff. Activision seems to be poking their nose a little bit further into the Blizzard
Listen,
land.
They need to not mess up anything with Diablo, or else I will walk to Irvine. Okay.
Yep.
Riots in the streets.
Yeah.
I will walk all the way to Irvine.
I wonder if that's what's going on, because whenever companies like shift around and they come in with their big we're a big corporation, gonna be doing things. Here we go. This does happen. So I wonder if something happened with Activision where he's just like, listen, I can't be a part of this. This is BS. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm getting out of here. And they're like, wait, but Overwatch 2, like, you guys can have it. Or maybe the game's already done. We don't know. Or maybe they wanted to change stuff around. Maybe they wanted to do things to the game we don't even know. And he's like, I put my foot down. I can't be a part of what you're doing here. Or he's like, well, that's it. This is the best I can do. But it's just like, it's so odd for him to give a little goodbye there. I mean, I don't think anyone saw this coming. I mean, man, what's going on?
Yeah,
I mean, like you don't really leave like most. It's kind of weird. In the last 2 years or the last year and a half, like a lot of CEOs have stepped down or left. All right, Bill Gates stepped down from Microsoft.
Remember
Jeff
when
Bezos
Reggie
stepped down.
left Nintendo?
Yeah,
That was huge.
that was crazy. But you had Bob Iger leaving Disney last year, right?
Yeah.
And like all those guys, except for Jeff left it recently, but all those guys left just before all the 2020 shit happened. And I was like, what's going on? What do you guys know?
Yeah.
Like the conspiracy theorists, like I was putting my
my
tinfoil hat on for a moment,
Your tinfoil.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why'd you guys all leave? And all of a sudden we got a virus. What's happening? Obviously they didn't all like leave the planet and just fuck off and go to space, you know what I mean, or do whatever.
Has anyone seen Elon in a while?
Yeah, right?
I know, right? But yeah, it's always weird, especially when they seem like they might be in good health, but you never know, man. Like Jeff might be battling something in the background, he might be like, I can't physically do this right now. So I hope that's not the case. I hope he's just leaving because he thinks his boss is an asshole,
Yeah.
And
it's not a John Lasseter kind of situation where he's been hugging employees a little too much.
with his Hawaiian shirts, yeah.
His Hawaiian shirts, my God.
Dude, oh, by the way, real quick, weird rant, right? We're gonna go here for a second.
Let's go.
I went to school for animation, right? I'm pretty sure some of us have also gone to school for art. The animation nerds all wearing Hawaiian shirts my first day, and I'm like, really? I'm out of here. I should have just asked for my money back immediately, and just fucked off, But all these kids, and like bad hygiene stuff like that. Like I just didn't fit in, and I didn't necessarily fit in high school, so it was a really weird time for me. I was like, man, this is weird. I'm not a partier, but I'm also not like a total nerd where I have to wear, Hawaiian shirts all the time. Yeah. It's just a weird thing that I wanted to bring up.
I'm gonna start wearing Hawaiian shirts now.
I'm out. I'll quit. I'll quit Button Smash.
Maybe we can all wear Hawaiian shirts while we take this short break.
With a cape. No, anything. Look, cape is always crazy. Cape is always crazy. Look, there are clowns walking the streets right now.
Right now.
There is no one dressed in a cape. Rogue Wave Podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture and the disruptors behind it. Streaming every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook.com/Rogue Wave Podcast, and available immediately following the live stream wherever major podcasts can be found.
All right, welcome back to the show we call Button Smash. That's what it's called here. You can tell by the way it is. Moving right along to our next topics. It looks like Amazon, with no surprise, is canceling another project underneath their belt. And this one I was really looking forward to. So what we're talking about here is Amazon is canceling the Lord of the Rings game. What? Like, this is so ridiculous. So
Lord of the Rings is not getting any love.
It's really not.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's getting $20 million per episode.
Yeah, was it $346 million to make this Amazon Lord of the Rings show?
Yeah, like a 20 episode season. Insane.
Wait, is it a show or an MMO?
There are two separate properties. There's a show and there's a game coming out, and this was getting canceled.
Yeah.
And it follows like a whole string of like a bunch of other Amazon game studios, because like people like forget, like Amazon is trying to get into everything, right? Like they got into streaming with Amazon Prime Video, which I think is still BS, because you got to like, I mean, like do you think I want to rent Demolition Man? Are you out of your mind?
Of course I
Come
do.
on. I love that movie. I don't want to rent it.
I'd rather wipe my ass with 3 seashells than pay for that film.
Casey's actual good joke. There we go. We're going to send it in the archives. It was 9:53 on April 2020. Okay, there we go.
Write it down.
Timestamp.
Yes,
Right.
I have seen the movie.
Yeah, but it's just like, rent it for $14. You can lick my. It's just like, what's my Amazon Prime account for? But it's so crazy. And it's nuts because like. There are so many other things that were announced with this, right? And this is another cancellation. So the game has been in development at Amazon Game Studios, LOL, alongside China-based game Leo Technologies Holding, which was purchased by a huge conglomerate, Tencent. So Tencent was probably like, all right. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's see what's good. Because like Tencent is always such a weirdo when it comes to certain properties, right? When it comes to like releasing certain things or certain things in games, they really have like a tight hold on things. So there's no like real... like reason why it was canceled. There's like some business mumbo jumbo, but it seems like nobody cares, because I mean it's like yeah, because like Tencent is in charge of the thing. So if this thing came out, there'd probably be a lot of microtransactions, a lot of ways to pinch pennies out of players. So everyone's like, okay, good. I mean, I was looking forward to a Lord of the Rings MMO game, because I love that whole time period, like with Warcraft medievally. You know, the Lord of the Rings lore is robust. You can do a lot of things with it. You can get lost into Middle Earth, and I would love to get a game where I can just run around and do things like that. I mean, if I could be like a ring wraith and like battle people, that'd be sick. You know, or like one of the Riders of Rohan, or actually be a Balrog. And there was a game like that a couple of years ago where it was I forget, what was it called, Battle of Middle Earth or something like that, where you were troops.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Battlefront. It was kind of like the Battlefront games where you had certain troops. Yeah. So your regular infantry troops were just like guys with swords, right? And then as you leveled up, you could become like heroes on both sides. So on the orc side, you could eventually like to summon and be the Balrog, and that would come on the field. Or on the other side, you could be like one of the Ents, and there was like capture the flag, team deathmatch. It was actually a lot of fun, and it just and it stopped, but it was really, really cool. I was like, damn, it's like Battlefront, but with Lord of the Rings. This is tight. But Jewel, Mines of Moria. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, like I said, Lord of the Rings Online like doesn't get a whole lot of love. I mean, they had do we call it LOTOR? Lord of the Rings Online?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was, you know, a game 15 years ago or 10 years ago.
Oh my god.
Something like that.
We're so
From
old.
Turbine Entertainment down here in Westwood, Massachusetts, man. Owned by WB at the time.
A couple of local boys.
And I got to admin in that game for like, I don't know, 2 days. I had like a experience to go there and be an admin, just fly around the world. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. I was like, so, and they're just like, yeah, that's okay. Just fly around, just stay invisible. I'm like, okay, I don't even know how to turn it off. So I just fly it around, just like dropping things here and there. But no, I was like, you know, that just disappeared like basically after I left there. Maybe I crashed it and I don't realize it, but I don't think so.
You did. You were insufficient in your role as a god.
Yes, exactly. But, you know, to see them try to revive the game and then get shut down again, that's harsh.
Really?
It's sad.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because like so many game companies are trying out so many different things to try to like get us into their services and get us to play underneath their umbrella, like Xbox here, and their Xbox Cloud Gaming for Windows 10 PC and Apple phones and tablets has begun a limited beta for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members. So in a statement from Xbox, they said, our mission at Xbox is to empower you to play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want. Simply put, we believe games have the power to connect humanity, and it's our mission to make games more accessible to people around the world. Very interesting. So starting tomorrow, we'll begin sending out invites to select Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members to start testing out Xbox Cloud Gaming Limited Beta for Windows 10 PCs and Apple phones and tablets via web browsers. We're launching on XboxPlay.com, where people where invitees can play over 100 Xbox game titles. through Edge, which is the browser, Google Chrome, or Safari, offering cloud gaming through the browser and having simplified universal language, yada yada, more business mumbo jumbo. But they're like, listen, we're gonna bring our game titles through Game Pass and the Xbox Live subscription to mobile and to a whole bunch of other platforms. So they're like, listen, you will not escape this Game Pass. You will get this Game Pass. You will get this membership. You will play everywhere. And hey, I'm hoping Xbox make that competition, because what does PlayStation have up against this Game Pass? You know what I mean? And they're just like, yo, not only like, well, do we have this amazing Game Pass, but here at Xbox, you're going to play it on everything. You're going to play it on Apple. You're going to play it on tablets. You're going to play it on your PC, everywhere. And Sony's just like, crap, we need to do something like that. They have something sort of similar, but man, this is crazy. I mean, like playing your Xbox games on your Apple phone.
Yeah, it's so what's interesting is this is not the first time we've seen people try this. Like Stadia and both Google Stadia and Amazon Luna kind of do the same things.
Yeah.
The one big difference and one huge leg up that Xbox has is that they have the catalog of games. They have a catalog of games that people would want to play and try this out. So yeah, we'll see how successful this is. I know there was a whole big thing of they were trying to figure out how can we like get our like an app in the App Store, and then they went, well, since Apple's not gonna approve this, we can just make it browser based, and then it doesn't matter. Then they don't have to approve anything. So it will be very interesting to see if this actually gets off the ground enough that enough people are using it. But there's definitely more games to bring people to a service like that than like Stadia or Luna could pull off.
Luna. I forgot Luna was a thing. Oh my god.
Really did.
Dude, it's so crazy to get getting that
Bezos
invite
did.
for Amazon Luna, their gaming subscription service, like their cloud gaming, and being like, hey, here's your invite for beta, pay to play.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Out of your damn mind. Oh man, I don't know whose idea was that, but somebody over at Apex had a really good idea. They're just like, hey, why don't we bring Apex Legends to mobile?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens. It worked pretty well for Fortnite again. So, like, cool. Let's bring it to mobile.
Yeah, and Apex, just like COD, they get a resurgence of players and resurgence of views all over social media and on Twitch and YouTube by spicing up their seasons. They have seasons where they introduce new characters. They also balance out their weapons. Like they introduce like a bunch of new ways to play the game. And you see even more now. There's a lot of content creators, streamers, and YouTube creators who are playing Apex again. It's really seeing a resurgence, and it's awesome too because a lot of people like Apex. And when it sees a lull, they're smart enough to say, hey, we are going to introduce a new character. Hey, we're going to introduce a new meta. Hey, there's new ways to traverse the map. There's new skins. There's new ways to be competitive in Apex. And it's a great thing to see. And mobile
It's Malibu Stacy, but she has a new hat.
Look, she's new. Yeah, and in Google searches and Google data, you see that more people are on their phones now more than ever in history, and that's where a lot of websites, a lot of streaming services see most of their traffic. So it makes sense for Respawn to put Apex on mobile. It's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out because you do have like Fortnite on mobile. You do see brutally correct #1 toilet game for sure. True.
Yeah.
True.
Hell yeah.
But Apex is so snappy. I mean, like Fortnite is kind of weird on mobile, right? Because like you need to build quickly. Like Apex is kind of snappy. I mean, it's gonna be weird. Like how is that gonna be? Are you gonna be in the arena with other players on different platforms? Is it just gonna be mobile? It has to be just mobile because if you're playing on your toilet, plop 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 on your phone, on your Samsungs and your iPhones against someone on the other end who's on a PC clicking and flipping it, it's no contest. Like that's absolutely insane.
iPhones and Androids have added support for like the Xbox and PlayStation controllers as well. So like you aren't just going to be. I'm assuming they may make it so that you're not just using the touchscreen controls, and having those controllers on there would at least up the chances that you'll be able to compete. So who knows?
Yeah, who's to say?
I'm still weirded out seeing ads for League of Legends for my phone, and I'm like, come on.
What do you mean? Wait, how's that weird?
I mean, there's always so much stuff going on. I mean, how would you even be able to focus on such a tiny screen, especially when your finger's in the way?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of screens are bigger now, so I think it's fine.
I guess. I don't know. I couldn't even imagine playing a real-time strategy game on my phone.
I think the control structure actually kind of lends itself to that, like being able to like touch and drag to select a bunch of troops and then move them.
Yeah.
Kind of like Clash of Clans or Boom. What was that? Boom Island or something like that. I don't know. Whatever it was. It was like Clash of Clans, but like army instead of.
Maybe I just haven't given it enough credit.
Yeah, I think that we could like see another resurgence of really cool mobile games now that like our phones are getting to be like almost console from like 10 years, like 15 years ago levels of quality, but it's catching up, man. So
It really is insane to be able to play certain games like, like Knights of the Republic. I play that on a whole console and on a computer, and it's just on my phone, which is insane.
Wow.
And Respawn did comment on this, saying the company's provided some details. Let's see here. It won't be a port of Apex, but instead a new version built for smartphones. Apex Legends Mobile is specifically designed for touchscreens with streamlined controls and thoughtful optimizations that result in the most advanced battle royale combat available on a phone. Like I love.
Man.
Okay, like companies. When you put out statements that actually explain what you're doing, and it kind of gives you like a good bead, right? Like saying it's not a port, it's actually made for the phone. There's touchscreens. Like don't put in your BS buzzwords and nobody wants to read that. Nobody I always hate like stumbling into like the colorful, flavorful like BS. It's just like, all right, cool. Designed for touch streams, cool. Streamlined controls, all right. Optimization, great. Right? The most advanced battle royale combat available on a phone. Don't put your colorful crap in there. Nobody cares. CEO of who cares, all right? Just give us the brass tacks, how it works, what's going on. I like that. Good. And then the most advanced combat on a phone. Nobody cares. Come on, Respawn. You're better than that. Yeah, bad Respawn. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people I know that they still bang out in Apex Legends. And they still play every single day, and it's their game. Like, that's their sweating.
Wow.
So I wonder if they're going to download it. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they mean by a mobile-specific version of Apex. What does that even look like?
I guess we'll find out when it drops.
Yeah. Speaking of things that drop, oh man, I cannot wait to see. We always go live here on Thursdays on twitch.tv/WeAreRogueMatter, and we put out all of our content over on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google Play, Apple Podcasts. But on Fridays, there are things that drop. And there are things that drop that we really look forward to. Not only Falcon and Winter Soldier, which has been great, but certain titles that we like from when we were kids, right? Certain titles that get made into big old movies that look incredible. What are we talking about? Mortal Kombat! Yeah! Mortal Kombat is dropping on HBO Maxu on Friday, and I think in select theaters as well, I believe.
Yeah.
But a crazy development. They dropped the first 7 minutes of the movie, which is insane.
We live in weird times, man.
I completely get it though. I completely get it though, because this thing is going to be dropping on HBO, right? So we're still in a worldwide event, right? Which also, side note, it's weird that I guess one of the YouTube things that gets you dinged is that you can't say pandemic or COVID, which is weird. Yeah, like you're supposed to censor that on your YouTube videos, which is very freaking odd.
You can't say COVID?
Yeah, apparently you can't say COVID-19 or pandemic. You have to say like worldwide event and crap. Which it's like YouTube I thought Twitch was weird. YouTube's weird, man. Like weird. It gets your video dinged. It's odd. And by dinged, like, I mean, for those who don't know, like demonetization, so you can't make money off your video.
You know what it is? I think what they don't want is they don't want people spreading misinformation.
Yes.
I can see the next Mr. Beast video, just him saying, I'm going to say the word COVID 400,000 times.
And he's got enough money to where it don't matter if he.
Yeah.
So with YouTube, there's a wonderful podcast from the New York Times called Rabbit Hole that like basically gives a through line from like Gamergate all the way through like all this whole misinformation like culture that we live in now. And they do end up talking to someone from YouTube. I think she might even be like the president of the YouTube division or something like that. And she goes in and talks about how back in like 2019, 2020, they actually had to adjust the algorithm, and especially with the pandemic going on, they had to adjust like what is popping up in considered like your suggested feed. And it is like super interesting, like the social impact of watching YouTube and like how when going down the wrong channels just friggin' rots your brain. Yeah. And it is a phenomenal podcast. One more time. It's called YouTube. Rabbit Hole. Would recommend. It is amazing.
That sounds like actually worth the watch and the listen.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, and it ties everything together like white supremacy and everything, and
so basically
QAnon, like all of this just stems back to basically like the dawn of YouTube.
So this crazy. Starts with PewDiePie on the bridge in PUBG. And then...
Dude, they interview PewDiePie on it, and I thought I didn't like the guy before. I genuinely despise this person after listening to him talk about all of the controversy. Crazy. Anyways, again, Rabbit Hole, would recommend, but also listen to Button Smash.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I'm hyped for this movie. I mean, I love Mortal Kombat as a kid. Played it on the Genesis. But played it throughout, and this actually looks good. I mean, when you talk about video game movies, right, and if they're going to be good or not, are we going to have a good like plot, a good script, a good storyline, and a trailer comes out and it actually garners like attention and respect from the community, where everyone's just like, wow, it looks like they're really like well crafted this thing. It doesn't look like a piece of crap. Yeah. You know, it doesn't like look like it's going to be boring. It seems to tell us a story about a guy who is coming into the world of Mortal Kombat not really too sure. He has a dragon tattoo. Like, we're going to be able to see what that's all about. But I get why they put out the first 7 minutes. This thing's going to be on HBO Max, right? HBO Max doesn't have the most subscriptions of all the streaming services, and the CEOs and VPs and the suits over there are like, we need to do whatever we can to get ourselves them subscriptions, right? We're trying to run this service. We're trying to give you guys some good stuff. Zack Snyder's Justice League, which reportedly didn't do much for their subscriptions.
No.
All those numbers came out as well. So you Zack Snyder freak, suck it. Godzilla vs. Kong, people did see it in theaters. They did gangbusters in China. It did really great. Didn't matter if the American market saw it or not. But again, didn't do much for HBO Max. So like, I get why they released like 7 minutes of this damn thing, where they're just like, yo, can you guys please, here, look what we're doing over here. Can you please subscribe?
Yeah. So with that attempt to get more people to subscribe, you can actually sign up for a free Hulu account with a new email address and get HBO Max. I think you can still do it for free for like a week.
Dude, so. I've been doing it with YouTube. With YouTube TV, you can do the trial and then select HBO Max for free, and then just watch whatever comes out, and then cancel. I've done this twice. I've not been charged a thing.
Got him.
Game the system, you fiend.
So good, but Mortal Kombat. You guys looking forward to it? Not really gonna hype. Like, what do you think of the look and feel?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like they really shown their work. You know, they got it all starting off with the clash of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Man, it's pretty great.
Like I said, when we first covered this, when the trailer came out, there's a move that Sub-Zero does where he takes the blood of, I think it's of Scorpion, and he freezes that midair, and then stabs him with it like it's a knife. Man. There's this show that I watched. It's called it's an anime. It's called Full Metal Alchemist. They do that in that show in the beginning, the first episode. Little ghetto guy, that was for you.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome, and seeing the reactions from the community, people were like, yo, they're going for it. Like, that was tight. And it shows that they have a lot of respect for the property. And in watching interviews from the creators and the cast of this movie even did like a trailer reaction on YouTube to it, and they lost their mind. They were like, yeah, because when you think about it, they filmed this thing in the vacuum with none of the effects done, with, you know, and like essentially actors, you know, you're doing all your thing in first person. You know what I mean? You're looking at the person across from you, you're doing the best you can, you're taking your direction, and you're doing the work, you're doing the job, so that when you and I want this throughout the industry. I want when these projects come out to see the actors have a reaction, because seeing the cast reaction to this was awesome. Seeing themselves in costumes, seeing the effects, like when John Boyega in The Force Awakens saw him like wield the lightsaber, he was like, what? Because, you know, like, again, like, they're filming this thing in a vacuum. They're doing their work. They're dialed into their craft, but they're not seeing the effects afterwards until they either watch it together at the studio or, you know, Skywalker Ranch, or in this case, they saw it when it releases to the world. So seeing the cast reaction to this, I was like, yo, that's tight. Industry, do more of that. Make a movie, whatever, have the cast react to it. That gets a hype going. So I was just like, damn. And they were talking about how, you know, they love Mortal Kombat. You know, some of them, like, played it growing up. Some of them not so much, but they had family members. They all have ties to the movie. They've all seen the original OG ones. You know, the main actors are kind of young. So you got like Kung Lao and Liu Kang, who are kind of young, and you got some of the older dogs in the game, and you've got some pretty good actors in this thing, and the effects that are being worked on this are nuts. I mean, you got guys from Corridor Digital, if you haven't checked them out, are visual effects artists who work in the game, and they even complimented some of the things, you know, going on in the trailer when they saw it. They're like, damn, look what they're doing here. I mean, when you got the visual effects artists, professional VFX artists who are like, yo, they're doing some good stuff here. Like, come on, let's go.
Listen,
I can't wait to pop this
let's
thing
be
up.
real. Mortal Kombat has had plenty of chances to finally get their shit together and do it right.
Yep.
So I'm really pulling for this one. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, is there something you're looking forward to? Because apparently, you know, I mean, we do see some of the fatalities in the trailer, but apparently there's a lot more, and they were selected for certain reasons in the film. The director was saying in an interview how there are certain fatalities in this movie that he hopes people lose their minds on, but the characters are well known for having a ton of fatalities, but they chose specific ones for this movie, for storyline, for the flow. I can't wait to see how that comes in. I mean, there's so many fatalities, and he's just like, yo, we pick certain ones for certain reasons. You guys will see. I'm like, damn, okay.
I'm thinking your classic Scorpion take off mask, skull face, set you on fire. Your Sub-Zero spine rip, you know. You're reading.
I'm just looking for reptile.
Yeah. You know,
I'm looking for a toasty. That's what I'm looking for.
Toasty?
Yo, if there's a toasty, let's go.
You get Liu Kang dropping the arcade machine on top of you.
Hey,
Oh.
when does Blanca show up?
Wow.
Just kidding.
The Doc Chris eject button. We just put like tape over the Casey eject button, just right back.
Yep.
I still get launched anyway.
But hey, is there going to be any like friendship or babalities in here? Like, what do we
I
got?
would lose
Like,
my mind if
God.
like they did a babality or like Quan
dude, if
Chi
they just
nonsense.
turned. Oh, that'd be so funny.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting because like it looks like in the trailer they do lean into this is Mortal Kombat, but at certain points it's very like cinematic-y. So I wonder if they like lean into it, you know, like how like Pacific Rim, you know, it doesn't take itself seriously, but there are like serious moments where they really like dial it in. So
They need to do at least one shot of the fighters like standing side by side, just like.
Yes,
The fighter pose.
That's how every fight begins,
Yes.
and no one's mad
No.
about it.
That'd be awesome. Apparently, this movie had a budget of only $50 million, which is like nothing for a movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, hey, so some of the best movies were made on a very low budget. I mean, look
That's
at
true.
Joker. You know.
Let's not use that as an example.
Oh, okay. In my opinion, a good movie. But yeah, there are lots of
That's
movies
fine,
made on a low budget that really like rocked everybody's face off. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see this thing dropping tomorrow. We'll be doing that free subscription.
Doing it again.
I'm paying for HBO Max.
It's free.
You know,
Dude, we're like as smart as that guy with all the exclamation marks on his suit at 3 a.m. You know,
Matthew
on TV.
Lesko. You can get.
Is that who
you
we're
can
talking
get free
about?
money from the government.
Yeah, it's free. That guy.
Oh my god, amazing. But yeah, that's all the news we have. Let's real quick, we're doing a little segment called What's Everybody Been Playing. So around the table here, we're gonna start with Casey. Boom.
I'm still playing God of War. You can catch me streaming a lot of nights during the week. I'm trying to get in as much time as I can because I'm really trying to get through these games. Got so many on my queue. But yeah, God of War, I gotta be almost done with it by now because I'm in secret areas and I'm fighting secret bosses. I'm just about to fight the Queen of the Valkyries, so you know I know I'm in for
Dude,
some...
those Valkyries are no joke.
Yeah, well, I mean, I killed 8 of them, and I'm doing all right.
I saw.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely in love with this game. I might have to play it on super hard big boy mode, just to know that I did it, just for the honor of Kratos and the boy.
Oh God.
The boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Because I found out only recently that there's New Game Plus,
Yep.
which I had no idea about, and I'm like, oh well, that should transition very easy into super hard mode.
And especially with you like to like really complete games, so this must be really good for you
Yeah.
because there's so many things to do.
Yeah, so many collectibles, so many achievements to get.
How you doing with those ravens, bro?
I'm missing, I think, 4.
Are you
I do
freaking
like that
kidding me?
No,
You're a monster.
They glow green. It would be different if
I
they were
know,
just
but
like
some of them
regular
are
birds.
very far away. Oh God.
I am spending a lot of time
So far
looking
away
for stuff.
here.
But yes, I apparently there's, unlike the old God of War games, there's no achievement for beating it on a super hard difficulty. So that's more just like a bragging rights. Look at my e-peen kind of chivo. So
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm going for
Yeah.
it.
Speaking of e-peens, Jay, what have you been playing?
E-peens, oh my god. I've been playing some Genshin Impact. If I just want my computer to be data mined, basically. So,
Well, you
just
came
want
to
my-
the right place.
yeah. No, I you can find me at twitch.tv/jaysmac at some point. I'm moving again soon, for a good reason. But I'll be packing up this desk, this 700-pound desk, and moving it very soon. So, be patient. I'm talking to you, Crizzle Twitch. For my broadcast, but yeah, I hope to be back on soon.
Yeah. And Doc Chris.
So I decided to try out Outriders. I've gotten not super far into it, but enough to get a feel for it, and it definitely plays like different than I thought it would. I went into it thinking it was another Destiny, as most people did, but it definitely like plays a lot more like the Division, with it being focused on like much more focused on cover shooting, which I was surprised about. However, some of the abilities are actually like feel really good, and they respawn really quickly, like much quicker than in Destiny. So for instance, I'm playing as a Technomancer, and he has a couple things where you can like run up to someone and your melee will freeze them. If you are running and you're not right next to someone, you jump in the air and smash down, and it will kind of freeze the general area that you land in. He also throws a turret that will shoot at people and freeze them as well, so it freezes them in place so they can't go for cover and you can shoot them. As well as like the health regeneration. When you shoot, it actually will regenerate your health. So each class is 4 classes. Each one has a different way that you regenerate your health, which kind of makes you play to that class's strengths. Like each one plays very differently. So I'm interested in playing it a little more. It's pretty good. It's definitely a game that I want to play multiplayer, so I need to get a couple of buddies up on that.
Yeah, I've been. I downloaded it because my buddy Alex, who's fat, is a joke. Like he was like, hey, let's all play a game together. I want to play something. I'm like, all right, let's get out of it. So I downloaded it. I definitely want to play, and we should all squad up.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'll snag
I'm
it.
playing on Xbox One, not Xbox Series X, and not computer. And I will say, I'm guessing it looks much better on those other consoles because it doesn't look the
You
greatest.
didn't get it for your computer that you just built?
brand new.
The reason, let me tell you, the reason I didn't get it from my computer I just built is because
we go.
it's on Xbox Game Pass, but not on the computer, not on the PC version of Game Pass. So I was able to download it and play it for free. I also just recently upgraded my Xbox One with a solid state drive, so it's much more zippy than it was before. So it's kind of fun to test that out as well. But yeah, so I'll play a little bit more Outriders, but it definitely, graphically, it's not the greatest. I'm thinking it's just not super well optimized for Xbox One, but on computer it probably looks great. But whatever, it was playing okay. That's all I really matter.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because graphically on PC, I watched some PC gamers. It looks pretty damn good.
Okay. That's good. And maybe it was like the opening scene, but it was like stuttering like crazy in all of the cinematics leading up, and it definitely has like evened out a bit. But it plays fine. That's really the important thing.
True. Looks like a couple people in the chat room playing really correct, saying Outriders is legit. Wish it didn't have frame drops. Recommended Trick Store. Okay. Crystal Twitch, Devastator for life. That sounds
Apparently
like
Devastator is the go-to, where it's basically
isn't that an Autobot or no? It's a Decepticon, right? Devastator.
He's the Decepticon combiner.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Big boy.
Yeah, Devastator is the worst. Oh, shots fired in the live chat. Brutally correct. Devastator is the worst class. Is that the tank?
Yep, that's the tank.
The tank class actually looks pretty like a lot of fun, but I think that the Trickster, there's like certain roles, right? You got the tank, the nuker, the butcher, the baker, the council maker, the fire starter, the fire starter. Yeah. Well, that's what everyone's been playing. Free this week, we have Alien Isolation. Whoa, Alien Isolation is free
on the Epic Store. Yep.
What? Yo, Alien Isolation is that game. I played a little bit of it when it launched back in the day, then I got really busy. I've been meaning to revisit it, but man, if you want a horror game where it's you versus the alien, but you like don't necessarily have weapons and stuff, I think you get stuff they don't do. You have to survive in a space
Have
station.
you wanted to play a video game that makes you pee your pants in terror? Well, boy, do I have the game. Does Wayland Yutani have the game for you?
Also, this is Isolation and not Space Marines, which apparently is absolute garbage.
Yes.
Isolation is the good version. Is the good one.
Dude, Alien Isolation is like it's so crazy. The feeling you get of just being like caught on a station with like the xenomorphs. Holy crap! Where you're just running around trying to hide from it in cupboards, and it's like coming through. And dude, it's so nice because when you watch the movie Alien, like one of my favorite like movies of all time, Aliens. Yeah. And you see the xenomorph, right? You always think about how you would react when you're faced with one of these things, right? So imagine you being locked up in a station where it's like a bunch of corridors and small rooms. You're hiding in a locker, and his tail comes down from the ceiling, and then it comes down, and you're just like hearing it, and it's like sniffing you out, and it's like holy crap! Talk about wetting yourself, dude.
When is this in VR?
Oh no,
it is. Isn't there a VR?
Is. It has to be.
It is. There's Alien Isolation VR.
I believe there's an
sure
Alien Isolation VR. Because wasn't there a streamer who like literally like peed herself playing?
I don't know.
I accept this challenge.
Don't pee your pants, Alien Isolation shit.
Don't pee your pants, Alien Isolation VR challenge. Holy crap. That is a good game to open up your Epic Store on your PC and try and get. Also, Hands of Fate. Play at home, Horizon Zero Dawn. What?
Yeah, so Sony with PlayStation has released this Play at Home initiative to give folks free games so that they stay at home and stay safe and don't get sick. The first game that they had released a while ago was the Ratchet & Clank remake, followed by, I want to say like last month, was a whole bunch of indie titles, but really good high-profile ones. And just this past week, Horizon Zero Dawn is free, I believe, through May 14th. This game is incredible. Maybe one of my top 5 games of all time. Amazing. Get it while you can if you haven't played it yet. If you haven't played it yet, like, why are you watching us? You should already be playing it. What's wrong with you? But yes, do it. It's free. Get it.
That's awesome. Oh, man. And that's all the time we have for this episode of Button Smash. Thank you guys for watching here live and being great up in chat. Everyone who's been listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you listen to a podcast. Tuning in each and every week as we talk about all the stuff you actually care about and us speaking it from our chest. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you later, or we will see you another time.
Thank you for playing.